Well, what's going on, guys? It's Mr. Affleck 9916. Welcome back to episode, what is this, 8, 9? I don't know, of the Euro Truck Simulator 2 Hard Economy mod. We are here in Oslo, Norway from the last episode. Gonna explore a little bit of Scandinavia. Originally, the plan was to head down to France and Italy, but I have some good news to announce, guys. November 29th, which is tomorrow. Actually, it's Tuesday as I upload this, so that would be 2 days from now. So Thursday, Beyond the Baltic Sea comes out. We're gonna have Finland, a little bit of Russia, and these three countries, which are Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. So I'm super excited about this, and I wanted to obviously share it first, which means we are going to stay in Scandinavia. Until then, we still have some unexplored cities in Sweden and all that, so, you know, we do have one more episode after this, so, you know, my goal is to do 2 new cities in Scandinavia that I didn't do before in these 2 episodes. So let's go ahead and look for a job, and this one right here is Latvia. I might have said it's that one. I don't know if I got them backwards, but either way, we haven't been to Örebro yet. I kind of want to complete Norway, so let's see if there's anything to Bergen. That does sound like a good opportunity. However, it takes me kind of outside of the city, so I worry about the same thing happening that happened last time. We could always take another ferry trip to Bergen in the future. So I think we are going to head into Örebro. Gonna have a nice long delivery today. 6 hours and 37 minutes through Oslo and to Örebro in far northern Sweden. So we got used packaging, we got a double trailer. It's gonna make it an interesting delivery. Let's go ahead and take the job, though. We'll complete Norway, and as much as I would like to finish it now, I do want to start heading east again because I want to be able to head into the new territory as soon as possible, of course, which will be on Thursday. So looks like we are in the Volvo today, which is just about perfect. Let's go ahead and get it started up. Go ahead and get those lights on. Which button did I make the lights? I don't remember because I'm horrible. There we go. There's our lights. Go ahead and turn the windshield wipers off. And let's go ahead and head on out of this IKEA here. The double IKEA trailer today. Go ahead and take a look at our route. We are just west of Oslo, so it looks like we'll head down on the 18, cross over, head into Sweden. This is a nice 2-lane road. I've driven on this in previous games, and we've driven around Örebro before, but we haven't actually gone into it. But obviously we'll get a lot of new driving on the game, which will be nice. Unfortunately, it's going to be dark for most of the trip, but I guess we'll see whatever we are able to see. So hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend, to those of you in the United States watching this. Had a good Thanksgiving as well. That's why I obviously haven't uploaded. I went home to Pittsburgh for a couple days. Went to my grandparents' house for actual Thanksgiving Day, and my uncle that lives in New York came in, and other family that all the rest of the family lives in Pittsburgh that was there. But it was nice to see all of them, obviously, and some of the cousins that you only get to see a couple times a year type scenario. You only see them 3-4 times a year. Thanksgiving is always one of those situations, so it was nice to catch up. Nice to be away from school for a little bit and just kind of enjoy a couple days at home. Of course, there's only 3 more weeks left here, and then I'm going to be headed to California for a week, and then it's Christmas break after that, so I won't be here for a whole month's time, which means that, let me tighten my wheel real quick, the steering wheel is starting to get a little loose. What that basically means is that I'm not going to be able to record videos for a month. So starting this week, I'm gonna basically be recording a lot, but especially the week before I go home for break, I'm probably just gonna record every single day and have a couple episodes to pre-upload for you guys. I think, let's see, it'll be 4 weeks that I'm gone. So if I could pre-record maybe like 6 episodes. Oh, is this gonna fit? Hold on. I don't know if I made this wide enough. Come on, get through. Alright, we're just barely good. Man, these articulated trailers do not mess around, I can tell you that. Do not mess around. But anyway, if I can record maybe 6 episodes to upload over the break of the Euro Truck Simulator, I think that would be appropriate. I don't want to do too many because I'm going to run out of things to talk about, and it's going to get stale really fast in the videos. But, I want to, obviously I'll have 2 weeks to actually explore the new part of the map, so we'll do most of that, and then I'll record 5 or 6 episodes to sporadically upload over the month. I'm also going to record some other things to upload over the month, so I'll be recording some more GeoGuessr, because I know I've gotten some good comments off of those videos. I know some of you guys have liked that, so GeoGuessr will be coming back, and maybe I'll do the first or second episode of the American Truck Sim series. I'm still trying to see if there's a hard economy mod out for that, though. I'll take a look over the next week or two, but perhaps it'll be time to start that, and then I'm going to actually go on Sporkle and do a couple quizzes on there. Those are really fun. That's a great website, so I'll introduce that to the channel as well, and kind of do a few new things to upload over the break, because again, I kind of use these videos as like my life update type thing, where I kind of talk about what's been going on, and then that gives me conversation ideas. And it chronologically wouldn't make sense if I oh man, I am going over the speed limit and there's a cop right next to me. That was a close call. I was 4 over. I was very lucky I didn't get a speeding ticket right there, especially after what happened in the first episode, which of course cost us like 600 euros. So that's still unfortunate. Even now, it means we're going to be a little bit behind where we were, especially now we're only getting 200 euros per delivery. That number's slowly creeping up, but it's obviously nowhere to what it was in the past. So anyway, I kind of use these videos, I try to kind of talk about what's been going on recently, and I kind of try to do them in chronological order, and recording them ahead of time just doesn't make a ton of sense with the way I structure them. So I want to record some other stuff ahead of time. I can record a ton of GeoGuessrs ahead of time. I can record a ton of quizzes ahead of time and upload those. Maybe some gameplay from some other stuff. And what I'm also going to do is finally get that NHL started again. As I mentioned in a previous episode, I had a problem with the first episode because the video file was just not working. If I didn't mention that, that's what happened. So that's going to be coming soon, and then I can have a bunch of gameplay recorded, and I can really record those over the break and upload those. So there'll be plenty of stuff over the break. I mean, if I do, about 5 Euro Truck Sim videos, that's already over a video a week, and then maybe, I'll try to up it to still do 3 videos a week over that time span. That's kind of the goal, and we'll kind of see what happens with that. So that's kind of the plan for the next couple weeks. But I gotta say, I'm really excited to check out this new map expansion. I'm really excited to head into Finland. Obviously, that's right next to Sweden, so that's probably where we will go first. And then after Finland, we will probably head into perhaps St. Petersburg, and then down into the 3 Baltic states. So really excited to see this new map expansion as it comes out. It's kind of like an expansion to the Scandinavia region. Obviously, it's not Scandinavia, but it's Northern Europe, and this is the area that I drive around the most. When Italy and France came out, I haven't even gotten down to those parts of the map yet. I've explored it a little bit before the expansions, but even then, I just haven't gotten around to those areas a whole lot. So, I'm really excited to bring those. To have an expansion that is an area that I frequent, and an area that I know I'm going to be really excited to drive, which is of course Northern Europe, which is where most of the videos have been so far. That does mean, of course, we'll have to delay going down to France and Italy, but that'll still happen. That'll happen next year. We just haven't gotten around to that yet. And then of course I still want to apply that winter mod, but I think that I want to do it after the break now, because at this point what I really want to see is the map expansion the way it was meant to be, which is of course in the summertime. I want SCS to add seasons so bad. There's gonna have to be a massive update, probably a DLC to the game. I think it's more than time that they do that. So hopefully the Redditors will come out in full force saying that that's what they want. But I think the next map expansion is going to either be Greece or Spain after that. We've talked about that in previous episodes though, so we'll leave it to Beaver and kind of see what they decide to do. And I forgot about the tolls that are on this road. Looks like we'll be there at 5:30 a.m. So it's pretty much going to be a night drive, unfortunately. I played around on my old profile a little bit. There's your $14, Steve. Have a good day. Don't know why I named the toll booth guy Steve, but that's what we'll call him. But anyway, that's kind of the update for the maps and update with what's going on. I had to pay some rail tolls over the break, actually. because I drove on the Pennsylvania Turnpike to go visit my grandparents from my hometown in Pennsylvania. I'm not really used to paying tolls because the highways I travel in Ohio don't have them. There are a few tolls in Ohio, but not in southern Ohio where I live. But the Pennsylvania Turnpike has some. What it doesn't have is tunnels with signs in them. How cool is that? This is one of the coolest intersections up here in the game. I've been through this before a long time ago, before this series. We gotta get over here. But there's actually signs in the tunnel that tell you which lane to go on, which I think is a really unique interchange. And you can see it on the map. We got a roundabout here, but it's also an on-ramp coming off of it. It's just a very weird and cool area here in good old Norway. Part of me kind of regrets now that I made the decision to not see the rest, to check off that final city in Norway, just because completing a country would have been really nice. Oh, come on, let me over, buddy. Thank you. Alrighty. Part of me regrets it, but again, had I been there, I would have had to take like a ferry job back to Denmark, and then I would have had to, find a long job back to Stockholm or something like that. I would have had to find a job to get back to Sweden, because I want to be in a place where I'm going to have a job that'll get me to the new part of the map. So I think the safest bet, what do I got to do here? Stockholm, Oslo, that would be correct. Norway has some very complicated, look at this interchange, look at it on the map. This is absolutely insane. We got roundabouts and interchanges and all sorts of weird stuff going on here. No problem though. At least they're not crowded roundabouts like we've had to deal with before with double trailers, of course. Alrighty. That was crazy. I think we're just getting out of Oslo, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We're hardly getting out of Oslo. Look how long it's taken us, and we still have all of that left, so. Oslo is the city of the weirdest interchanges of any city I've ever seen on this game or in real life. And I'm from Pittsburgh, and we have a lot of weird interchanges. So I know what that's like. But anyway, I got distracted and totally forgot what I was talking about. I know I was talking about tolls on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and then I can't remember anything that I was saying after that. It's midnight. I drove 3.5 hours today in real life. I'm recording this on Sunday night. Trying to get an upload in. Trying to get a recording in, should I say, because I don't think I'm gonna have time tomorrow. Got a good old history of rock and roll exam tomorrow, which is kind of gonna suck, but it's just a reading quiz, so it shouldn't be too bad. At least it's for a class that I enjoy. I know what I was saying. Now I remember. My best bet is probably to get back to Stockholm, and if I get back to Stockholm, then I know that I'll probably have some sort of delivery to the new part of the map, at least into Finland or something like that. I may have had one from Denmark, but it's kind of stretching it a little bit, so, you know, I don't know. I probably could have made it work, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We can finally come back and get Norway. We'll find a job to that city at some point in eventually. Who knows? It could be a while, but we'll make sure that we click it off before we head south. I wanna probably get every city in Scandinavia in this profile completed. Whoa, that guy cut me off. That was close, very close. I want to get every city in Scandinavia completed before I, leave it. The exception being the Baltic states, and I'd like to get all of those done if possible, or at least explore a big portion of that map, and then head on to the rest of the map. But with the new game update coming out, which is exciting, a lot of Germany has been redone, so that's pretty cool as well. That a lot of Germany has been remodeled and redone, and they're going to do the whole country eventually, and then eventually the UK. So I'm pretty excited for that. But I'm really glad that I didn't do Pro Mods, as I mentioned at the beginning of the series, which is the map expansion add-on, and I'm glad I didn't do that. All right, that was close on the merge there. I'm glad I didn't do that because the expansion pack came out even earlier than I thought it was going to. Of course, November 29th is the expansion date release. So I'm happy about that because look, I haven't even explored all of Scandinavia yet, and you know, Pro Mods would have completely messed that up. There's the Swedish flag, so we are in Sverige. welcome back to Sweden, folks. Good to be back home again after our expeditions into Denmark and Norway. Always good to be back in your home country on the game. I have a friend whose dad's from Sweden, and I was talking to him about this YouTube series on our drive home because he goes to the same college I do, and we went to the same high school, so we carpooled. And apparently, I completely have been mispronouncing all of the Swedish city names. So I apologize for that to anyone Swedish out there, or Norwegian, or Danish, or any other country where I'm gonna butcher it. Wait till we get to the cities and beyond the Baltic states. Just forget it. I'm not gonna be able to know. It's gonna be rough, unfortunately. But Linköping is like Linköping or something like that. The G at the end makes a Y sound. So it's Linköping or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember exactly what he said. Same for Jönköping. It's not Jönköping. It's like Jönköping or something like that. I don't know. That's still mispronouncing it, but that's closer to what it was. So at least I'm now only mispronouncing it a lot instead of a lot. It's still pretty tragic if you ask me, but I do apologize for my very Americanized or anglicized pronunciations of places. But I mean, I'm not supposed to know any better anyway. I'm doing the best I can. At least I know how to say Stockholm, not in the Swedish Stockholm way of saying it, but at least in a very strong American accent, I can say Stockholm. At least the pronunciation's somewhat correct. The rest of the cities I can't really say the same for, so we'll just keep rolling with the butchering of the Swedish language and every other language on here, except for French. I can get those cities right because I speak a little bit of French, and I actually know how to say the cities there the proper way. I know that it's Nice instead of Nice, or Toulouse instead of Toulouse, or however a normal person who doesn't understand French might say it. All right, 2:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. These roads are crazy, the way they go from 1 lane to 2 lanes to 1 lane. It's like highway to regular road. Look, they got 1 lane on this side, 2 lanes on this. There's just not enough room to make a regular highway. I've driven this highway on my old profile where I had a truck, and I could hardly get up some of the hills because it was a very difficult area. It's a very rural road. It's a very remote road. Getting from Sweden to Norway by land is no easy task. The easier thing to do is take the ferry through Denmark. But of course that takes a lot longer because you got to go all the way to the south of Sweden. And as you can see from the pine trees, we're pretty far north. This is about as far north as there is in the map. I mean, let's take a look at it. Oslo, yeah, right up here around Bergen's about as far north as it is. But this whole area here, I mean, it's the northern end of the map. Aberdeen is not even as far north. Of course, when we get to Finland, that's going to be even further north. So I guess we'll have expanded the northboundness of the map. And I think how far east you can go too, because we'll be here, so just a little bit more east than far eastern Poland. It'll expand a little bit to the east as well. So we're going more north and more east than we've ever gone before, which is pretty exciting. Of course, the furthest south is Italy. The furthest west is definitely France. And then I guess the furthest north and east may be Finland or St. Petersburg, whatever city they have on there is further east. I think St. Petersburg will be the most east. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, Thanksgiving was well. Enjoyed dinner, had the good old American Thanksgiving classic. For all you foreigners listening, it's turkey and stuffing, which is this like breading that we put in the turkey. It's really good. My family always serves it on the side. Some people serve it on the side, some people actually stuff the turkey with it, henceforth the name is stuffing. My family's always just been the ones to put it on the side, though. But turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce. I don't even know if... Do they have cranberries in Europe? I would guess they do. Or at least I would guess they have them imported from the U.S. I didn't even know that turkey's not even native to Europe. Which I knew, but I never realized. Like, I had remembered it, but, like, for some reason it never had hit me that turkey is actually native to the United States. And it's eaten in Europe. but I didn't know that it's, a lot more rare than it is in America. I mean, in the U.S. you get a turkey sandwich. That's just like, that's not weird at all. It's just a type of meat that we eat. But I guess if you're not American or Canadian, then it's weird because it's just this random bird that these people in USA and Canada eat. But over here in North America, it's just a common thing to eat. I'm guessing cranberry sauce is much the same, because I don't know if they have cranberries in Europe. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong. If anyone here is from Europe, please correct me on my stupidity or my ignorance of your foods. But stuffing, mashed potatoes, dinner rolls are all pretty common. And then, of course, the classic dessert for Thanksgiving is good old pumpkin pie, which for some reason a lot of people don't like, but I do. I think it's real good. But a lot of people aren't fans of pumpkin pie. I don't really understand why. And I'm guessing pumpkin pie is in Europe. I would be surprised if they don't have pumpkins in Europe or other parts of the world. I'm guessing that's kind of a global thing, but then again, maybe it's just another American food that's not really common on the other side of the pond. It's one of the few times of the year where we can actually say, like, these are our foods in our culture from this side of the world. Because, most everything else is, from Europe, and, we eat it here. I mean, they eat chicken and cow and pork and all that stuff over there just as we do here. And, most of the food we eat in America is not really American food. It's, I mean, for example, an American family might cook salmon one night, which is a seafood common in Scandinavia, and the next night it might be pasta, which is Italian, and the night after that you might make some sort of a hamburger, which came from Germany. Essentially, the American palate is just a bunch of European foods, and of course we also eat a lot of Chinese food and a lot of Mexican food, especially in the southwest part of the country, which did originate in Mexico. So Mexico is a really good food culture that has food that's actually from Mexico. The USA doesn't really have a lot of things that were domestic to the US. So Thanksgiving dinner is kind of a thing that we can claim as our own. I mean, turkey and stuffing and all that, that's maybe stuffing's not American, but turkey definitely is, and the idea of a Thanksgiving dinner is definitely American. And if you haven't had it, if you're not from the US or Canada, because Canada celebrates Thanksgiving as well, so when I say America, I'm kind of including Canada, because when it comes to culture, we're very similar, as I think I've talked about in previous videos. The US and Canada have a few differences, but I mean, they definitely have differences, but I'd say that the US and Canada are probably more similar than almost any two other countries in the world. I mean, we share sports leagues together. We share so many things in common with each other that, in some ways, our cultures kind of overlap, and so do our holidays. I mean, we're the only two countries in the world to celebrate Thanksgiving, I think. I might be wrong on that, but as far as I know, we're the only two. I don't think Mexico celebrates it. Maybe they do. I don't think so. But it is one thing that we can claim to our own. And if anyone's watching this that's from Europe or elsewhere, and you haven't had a Thanksgiving dinner, Google American Thanksgiving. Is that a cop getting gas? That's pretty cool. Police car going into the fuel station. I have not seen that on this game before. That was pretty cool. Anyway, Google American Thanksgiving dinner, and I challenge anyone who's from Europe or wherever to, I mean, I don't know if you can find carved turkey the way we have in the US, but if you can find it, maybe at a specialty store or something like that in Europe, I challenge anyone to make a American-style Thanksgiving dinner, and feel free to send me the pictures of it too. You'll make me jealous, even though of course I just had one. But it's good. It's one of the best meals of the year. And the best part is there's always leftovers, because you make enough for 10, 20, 30 people, depending on how big your family is. Mine's pretty small, but we still had a ton of extra turkey. So 2 days later, had turkey for lunch and put gravy on it. Gravy's another big thing. We put gravy on the turkey. I don't think that's an American food, but it's definitely part of the American Thanksgiving meal. And it's pretty good. It's one of the best meals of the year. It's tasty. It's a lot of, you get a lot of different things that you don't normally eat throughout the year. So That's why Thanksgiving is a great holiday, because you get to eat a fantastic meal. Even if you eat the same exact thing every year, it's pretty fantastic. Christmas, on the other hand, I'm sure is the same tradition as many other parts of the world. At least in my family. My family was Catholic, and well, is Catholic, but was for generations is what I mean by that. And the tradition, at least in a Catholic family, I don't know if this is true for other religions, but at least in a Catholic family, the tradition is to eat ham on Christmas. So every Christmas for us, it's usually ham, because that's kind of the tradition. But my family is of Polish heritage on my mom's side, which is the side that lives in Pittsburgh. That's the only side I really know that well. So there's always been kielbasi, or kielbasa. Kielbasi is kind of the Pittsburgh pronunciation of that. We don't say that word properly. It's properly kielbasa. And pierogies. And sauerkraut is really big. I know that's a German food. It's also very common in Polish cuisine. So those foods have always been at my family Christmases growing up. So my one cousin, I don't even know which one made it, but when I was little and we'd go to my one cousin's house for Christmas, there'd always be this great kielbasa and the sauce that they used to cook it in, and whatever the flavoring was on it, it was just, to this day, one of the single best things that I've ever tasted in my life. It was just absolutely tremendously good. And I'd like to find out whatever recipe that was, because I do enjoy kielbasa, and I'd like to eat it again the same way that I had it when I was little. Now I usually go to my grandparents' house on Christmas. It's not really the whole family together. My grandparents are older, and it's hard for my grandma to get out of the house, so we usually just go over there. And unfortunately, that means it's not the whole family together, and it means I don't get to eat all the same things. But we still do our nice little thing with the ham and all that, the traditional. And of course, Easter is always ham. I mean, that's even more traditional than Christmas ham. There's nothing like an Easter ham. You go to a restaurant the night before Easter, or even on Easter. It's common in America to go to a restaurant for lunch on Easter, for brunch, and get served ham. And oh my goodness, is it one of the tastiest things ever? If you like ham, that is. Which I'm a big fan of it. Alright folks, we're in Orebro. Sun's about to come up. Our little drive across Norway and Sweden is complete. Alrighty. That actually went fairly fast. A lot faster than I expected it to, considering the video hasn't been that long, and I'm going to see if I can do another short delivery and kind of make this a longer video than normal. But we'll see what's available. Alright. Let's get that Orebro discovered. There it is. You always know where it's going to be because there's always a speed limit change right before it. Good to discover another city here in Sweden, though, even if we've driven right past it before. Alright, one of the closer ones to Stockholm as well, actually. Looks like we got a W and W to drop it off at. Alrighty. Wallenius Wilhelmsen. No idea what language that is. The helm makes me think it's Scandinavian, but it almost sounds German. Alright, where do y'all want this? In the back. Alright. In the back. It's over. That'll fit in nicely. Alright, hopefully we get it to go green, because I'm not going to loop around like I've previously tried to do. These articulated trailers kill me. And look, of course they have to put that there to make it more challenging. I mean, credit to them. That's called knowing how to make a good game right there, adding some challenges. Don't know if it's realistic to have that challenge in there or not. Alright, come on. Give me something. Give me something. Come on, come green before I hit this car. Come on. Come on. Oh. Man. Ugh. That's as far up as I can get. Alright, let me think this through. I gotta turn the wheel to the right if I want that to go to the... No, I gotta go left here. Let's put this into reverse. We're gonna try this. Even though we're gonna fail, probably. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Let's not go that fast. Alright, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Nope. This is not happening. We're parking it. I gotta practice my backing up of doubles and my handling of doubles, because guys, it's not very good. I gotta work on that. That is quite embarrassing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the job market. Alright, so we're in Orebro. We can head down to Kalmar. That's a long one. Gdansk. Uppsala is kind of short. 2 hours 56. That still adds quite a bit, though. It would make it a lengthy video. I think we'll save it for the next episode. In the next episode, I think we'll head to Kalmar. Because that's 5... Nah, I think we'll stay around this area. I think we'll head to Uppsala, and then maybe we'll try to get back to Stockholm after that or something like that. And, kind of see what we can do. Hopefully there's some short deliveries around. If not, we'll figure something out. So that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Only 2 more, and we're headed to this area. I can't wait. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe for now. We'll see you next time on Mr. Affleck 9916. Peace.